Hey guys, welcome to this week of Hyperfixated. This episode's going to be out in probably a day late, maybe less, but the only reason why, so I want to share a life update. I just got a promotion at my job, so I've been really focused on getting acclimated to the new environment that I'm in. So before I could make an episode, I wanted to make sure I got used to work first and not be distracted by anything else because that's my only source of revenue right now until hopefully this podcast pops off. But we're growing day by day. We're growing viewer by viewer. I'll take anything, and I'm very happy for those of you who do listen and do watch. So without further ado, as you can see, my co-hosts aren't here this week, so I'm gonna be doing one by myself. But this is one I wanted to cover for a long time anyway, and I don't think either one of them are too big of Star Wars fans, but I am. So I wanted to do an episode about analyzing Anakin Skywalker and see how his whole story began and how he turned to Darth Vader. Because we all know there's reasons why he turned bad, but I've had to do an analysis on this for college one time, and we had to analyze a work of fiction, or it was either fiction or art or something like that, and we had to they asked us for our observation, what we got from it, what we think happened, and then what we know happened, and I got a 100 on it because I watched Star Wars to prepare for my essay. So without further ado, here's the story of Anakin Skywalker, at least from my perspective. But I think I got most of it accurate. So Palpatine messed with midichlorian particles and Anakin's mom Shmi, and she gave birth to Anakin naturally through the Force because he used the Force to manipulate that. And so Anakin was born out of the Force and became a chosen one. So to start off, as we know, Anakin is a slave owned by Watto, and started out not having a father, so he already didn't have a father figure. He lacked in having a father figure, and all he knew was how to build things, how to fix things. But he had bigger goals. He wanted to be a pilot, and he wanted to get off of that planet. He wanted to get off of Tatooine, and so with doing that, he was kind of just stuck as a slave. He couldn't do too much, so he used the pod racing to try to win, save some money, and hopefully buy himself out of slavery. So when the Jedi's came along, he was really excited, and he wanted to. He took aside his own dream of getting out and being a pilot to give them the money if they won and buy the new part. And since they thought that was kind, they you already know, Qui-Gon made a bet with Watto, and he used the Force on the dice to make it land on the favor that he wanted. And if Anakin won, he was freed. So Anakin was freed because he won. And later on, Qui-Gon did a midichlorian count of Anakin, and he saw that he had the highest midichlorian count ever recorded. So we're thinking this could be the chosen one. And shortly after all this, Anakin realized his mom wasn't free. She was still a slave because Qui-Gon couldn't get his mom from slavery. He could only get Anakin. And his mom was like, oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You'll be good. Go with these guys. And so then they go back to Coruscant, and they take Anakin to the Jedi Council, and they said they need him to be trained. But I was like, no, he's too young. He's too old to be trained. We can't train him anymore. It's too late. He should have been trained when he was a baby. And Anakin, seeing that, he probably was kind of like, can I try? And they eventually talked with him more, and he was able to train under Qui-Gon, regardless of if they wanted him to or not. But they allowed Qui-Gon to train him. And then came the fight with Darth Maul. Qui-Gon died, and Obi-Wan won. But this means that training Anakin was now his responsibility. And Obi-Wan, being a new Jedi Knight after Episode 1, he never trained anybody before. He never had to take a Padawan under his wing and show him how to do everything. So he tried to do what his master could have. I think Qui-Gon could have done it better, but with what Obi-Wan had, what he could do, he did what he could do. There were mistakes to be made. There was people make mistakes in training, and so naturally he was going to mess up a little bit, but that's okay. Cut to the second movie. They're a lot older now, and Anakin still has feelings for Padme, and Obi-Wan just tells him, "Be mindful of your feelings, because no Jedi is supposed to have any sort of attraction, like any attraction, any feelings of love, any sentiment, anything pretty much. You're not supposed to have any emotion, anything, any attachment to something that could lead you astray from the Jedi mind path. You shouldn't follow it." And Anakin's like, "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't care about that. I want to." He said he wants to clap Padme's cheeks, pretty much, and the entire movie he pretty much tries to do that. And I'm only going to really highlight the pivotal points where you start to notice Anakin making these little mistakes in his character, which leads him to that path. Because I'm not going to analyze the entire Clone Wars movie. I mean, I've watched it too many times, and you guys have probably watched it already too many times too, so I don't want to have to go into detail about it again. But so the entire movie, Anakin tries to rizz her up, and it's the worst dialogue I've heard in my entire life. And then he has a vision that his mom's going to die. So, because Anakin, with him being the chosen one, he has one cool power in the Force that not a lot of other people have, which he can see into the future. I'm not sure if he can actually change anything that happens, but he can at least see it to know what happens. And he saw his mom dying, so he's like, "Padme, we need to go to Tatooine now. I need to save my mom." So he goes back to Tatooine, finds his house, but he finds out that his mom got married. She got freed and then married by the guy who freed her. And he said, "Yeah, the Sand People broke my leg, or like cut off my leg or something, and now I can't find your mom, but I'm gonna try to find him." And Anakin got mad, so he's like, "I'm gonna find her myself." So then he went to the Sand People's village and found his mom. She called him handsome and died in his arms, and he gave into his anger. He got mad, and Jedi aren't supposed to give into their anger, but Anakin, with him still being... I forgot a part of detail real quick. Anakin has a lot of anger, and a lot of the anger came from like when he was being trained in between the first and the second movie. He was a lot stronger and a lot powerful than people in his class, but they kept holding him back because he wasn't fully trained. But he felt like, "I can always do more. They're not letting me do more." So he was getting mad that they never let him do more, and everybody's just like, "Be mindful of your feelings. Don't let yourself get mad, because anger leads to hate, hate leads to fear, or fear leads to... I don't remember what it is, but fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to the dark side," or something along the lines of that. And he just got mad. So fast forward back to this part, Anakin gives into his feelings again, and instead of just burying his mom, letting the people go, he slaughters all of them. And he wasn't supposed to do that. But when he slaughters all of them, you hear Qui-Gon's Force Ghost yell, "Anakin, no!" And I didn't notice that the first time, but if you go back and watch it, and if you listen for it, you can hear it. And then he admits it to Padme. Padme doesn't mind it for some odd reason. But and the rest of the movie goes fine until they get married. And Anakin and Padme get married, and that's not good because now he has an attachment. Now he has a bond, and he's not supposed to have any of that, because that's going to come in the way of any decision he's going to make. He's going to make decisions based off of his priority, which is Padme now. Cut to my favorite movie, Revenge of the Sith. Anakin can't sleep anymore. His wife is expecting 2 children, and he can't sleep anymore. And then he starts to have the visions again of Padme dying in birth, and he doesn't want that to happen again, but he doesn't know what to do. He goes to Yoda for support, but doesn't want to tell him, like, "Hey, I think my wife's going to die," because he's not supposed to be married, not supposed to have kids or anything like that. So like, he's not going to reveal to Yoda what's going on. He's just like, "I don't know what I want to do." But he knows he's already lost one person important to him. He doesn't want to do that ever again. So he wants to try to do whatever he can to prevent that from happening again. And that's going to end up being his downfall. So throughout the entire movie, he starts to become more buddy-buddy with Palpatine. And Palpatine starts feeding him little seeds of like power and rumors that could like cheat death and save things, prevent things from happening. And it starts to become seductive to Anakin, where he's like, "How do I learn this power?" He's like, "I can show you." And Anakin, then he's like, "Oh, you're the Sith Lord they were talking about. I don't want to show you this." And he's like, "You want to kill me?" And Anakin says he really wants to, but it's not the Jedi way. So he's not going to kill Palpatine. So he instead tells the Jedi Council, and so the Council does their little raid on Palpatine. Um, Palpatine gets electrocuted, and Anakin, he's sitting there thinking, and he knows he doesn't want Padme to die, so he runs in the room, does something stupid, and instead of help kill Palpatine, he kills Mace Windu instead. Well, he cuts Mace Windu's arm off to stop him from killing Palpatine. Palpatine shoots him out the window, and Anakin just like sits there thinking like, "What have I done? I shouldn't have done that. That's not something I would have done." And Palpatine's just like, "No, you're good. I'll help you. I'll give you the power to save the one you love." And Anakin's like, "Anything, please. I can't lose her. I can't lose anybody like this again." And this is where he messed up. Like again, he shouldn't have had that connection. He shouldn't have had that bond with Padme. I get it. I probably would have too, but he shouldn't have done that in the first place. And Order 66 happens. The only way Anakin can save Padme is by following what Palpatine's telling him. He slaughters Jedi, he slaughters younglings, he slaughters just anybody that opposes his way. And he makes it to Mustafar, he kills all the separatists, and then he has a moment there. There's a moment where you see him crying. He's by himself crying after they're all dead because he's carrying the weight of what he just did, but knows that now he can't go back because he just made that mistake and he's not going to be able to ever go back to that. And he sees Padme. Padme can't believe what he's done. Him and Obi-Wan fight. Greatest fight in Star Wars besides the Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fight in Kenobi. And then, he turns to Darth Vader, which is tragic. And then throughout every part, I always think of Kenobi when I think of him being as Darth Vader, because even though he was Darth Vader, I think Anakin came out for a second in the last episode of Kenobi just to tell Obi-Wan, give him the closure of, hey, you're not the one who caused this, I did. Because he tells him, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. And the screen turns back to red and he goes, the same way I will kill you or destroy you. And so I think Anakin slipped out for a few seconds just to give Obi-Wan that closure, make him realize it's not his fault, and then cut back to Vader. And then in the sixth movie, Vader turns in good again, turns into Anakin again, and he kills Palpatine, bringing balance back to the Force. And then in the money grab movies, nothing really happens, but you hear Anakin in the last movie, you hear him tell Rey, bring back the balance, Rey, as I once did. And then you hear him say a bunch of other stuff, inspiring her to do better, and then not do better, but get up and fight, and she does. And then the only other appearance we have of him is him and Ahsoka, and that's when he's a Force ghost, and I really love that, because again, Anakin's my favorite, so being able to see Hayden Christensen on the screen again, being Anakin, was really cool. And I'm just going to pull this out because I have it, and I love it, but I got his lightsaber hilt from Disney. My dad and my sister went, and my dad's stepmom's sisters went, and I stayed at home because I had work and school. And I asked him if he could bring me one thing back. I just wanted Anakin's lightsaber hilt, and so he brought me that. But he also brought me the blade with it. Oh, John. I think I need new batteries. Yeah, now this thing's bugging. Well, that's tragic. I actually kind of want to see that while I'm here if I need to get new batteries. Because if these things corroded, that's not going to be good. No, they didn't corrode. I probably just need new batteries. That's all it is. That sucks. I wanted that thing to be cool blue for you guys so you could see it. But it's whatever. You'll see it in the thumbnail. But that's essentially all I've got with analyzing Anakin Skywalker. But that's my favorite Jedi, and I do love Obi-Wan and everything. I love Qui-Gon, and I really like Yoda. I like Luke Skywalker and everything. But Anakin's always my favorite. He's always gonna be my favorite Jedi. There we go. Nah, it's still bugging. Yeah, it's not really blue. It's fading. Yeah, see, like now it's like turning off and on. But regardless, it's still cool. I just need to replace the batteries. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, this is the handle, the famous hilt, and it's got the little cool belt things I can put it on my belt if I were to ever cosplay as Anakin. But I don't see that being likely right now, anyway. But yeah, happy hyperfixated, and I will see you guys on the next one. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment, like, or subscribe. But I'll see you on the next one.
Hey, let me get a minute. Hey, let me get one too. And let me hold one.
Yeah, you get that right there. What the dog doing? 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 Yeah, that right there. Yeah, that right there. Yeah, that right there. Yeah, that right there. What the dog, what the dog, what the dog doing? What the dog, what the dog, what the dog doing? What the dog, what the dog, what the dog doing? What the dog, what the dog, what the dog doing?